Welcome to the FoxCast. I'm Dyna or Dyna on Kitsu, and I'm a producer/host of this podcast. I thought it would be nice to have sort of a small introduction here to inform you of general news and what you can expect from each episode. Being that this is our first episode, you may note certain areas which are a bit lacking and in disarray. In this episode, there were a few hiccups with my microphone and sound in particular, which resulted in lots of excessive noise and background sound whenever I speak. I apologize for this, and I hope it will be fixed for future episodes. Also, a worthy mention is that as we continue to strive and improve the quality of our podcast, many features you hear and see are preliminary and tentative. Nothing is truly finalized, and we will definitely be experimenting with ideas throughout. Please excuse us as we make our gradual transition into the podcasting realm. We greatly appreciate you for your patience as we try to create the best podcast for you all. From all of us here on the FoxCast, we thank you. For this podcast wouldn't be possible without the support from listeners like you. Now then, with the formalities out of the way, let us begin. In our inaugural episode, we introduced ourselves, our Kitsu origins, trends, and general news amongst the anime community this week. Any links and topics we discussed will be included in the description. Please enjoy this episode, and we will catch you all next time.
Hello everyone from the Kitsu community. This is the FoxCast. Me, your host, and the captain of the ship, Nuvo Nokai. And I have my fellow podcast member,
Doaks is here, yeah, and the other fellow members are MIA tonight, so it'll just be us two.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, we got Lady Lucy, and we got, I call him Den, but it's Dynama. Exactly. Those, unfortunately, two podcast members won't be with us, so bear with us. We're going to try to keep the excitement for you guys in this first episode. We're so excited for this podcast to be only for you. We're doing it for you and for the fun of everything. So, we wanted to introduce us to you guys if you didn't already know us on the site or follow us, in our own little haven that we got. Cap, you can introduce yourself, or me.
I got this, I think. All right, so I'm Doaks on the site. If you're not familiar with me, I'm a user who is known for a few little things on the site. Making lists is one of them. If you've seen top 10 posts, that's usually me. If you there's a trend that we're going to mention later that was about the top 25 anime list that went on about a month ago or so. That was also my doing. Mm-hmm. I'm all along with my buddy here about spreading good vibes throughout the site. And
cheers.
Yeah, you're up, bud.
All right, so I love that. So I didn't mean to clap, but it just came out.
hey, when you gotta clap, you gotta clap.
All right, so cool. Say explain how or who you are. I always be like, it's kind of weird, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm Nuvo Nokai. If you didn't know already, you can call me Nuvo for short. Nokai means honest tree. Many people don't know that.
Well, shit, so, I didn't actually know that, and I've known you for almost 2 years now.
Yeah,
I never bothered to ask.
Yeah, that's why I added. Because at first it was like plain Nuvo, but I added a Nokai because it means honest tree, and I believe to be an honest tree to the core.
That's man, I believe that very wholesomely.
Anyway, so on the site, many people might know me for my positive quotes because I try to deliver a positive statement for all my followers each day I wake up. I also like to spread love and talk about the joys of the medium that we all love within the den. I adore my followers. I call them the best foxes among the community because that's what I truly love. Whoever follow me, for some reason, I just claim you to be the best. Because I think, I do. Because my followers are like crazy good. Like, they respond to everything I do. So that's why I deem them the best.
And anybody that knows you knows that they get a nickname as soon as they get to know you.
Exactly. That's well, see, it's funny because I was a person that normally doesn't do that, but as I grew older, I just wanted to attach myself to different people a certain way or add my little spice to it, so I like giving nicknames to people that I actually love.
Yeah, no, I get that. I do that too. People are like, you call them that? I'm like, yeah, no, I claim ownership over this. You'll have to deal.
I know, right? I remember while like discussing with someone before, they was like, you call, that person captain? I'm like, yeah, he's a fucking captain, so why wouldn't I? So
Yeah, well, just like, I have no issues going, my good buddy, he calls my girlfriend a French maid, and
yeah,
like, well, what does he mean by that? I'm like, it's his own joke. You have to ask the man, the guru. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, yeah, So, how did you discover Kitsu?
Me, so back in, man, I feel getting old already. Early 2014, my sister was watching YouTube, and I don't know. Are you familiar with the YouTuber Happily Aaron?
Okay.
So she's a really bubbly, happy YouTuber. She doesn't make many videos anymore because she had a child, so she focuses on being a mom over a YouTuber. And she really, really loved certain anime, like Natsume Yujincho, Kuroko no Basuke, and many others. And she discovered Hummingbird, which for you who were not with Kitsu before it became what it is today, it was known as Hummingbird. And we were big followers. My sister made an account, and then she nudged me. She's like, "Hey, you should make one too. You could go track your anime." And I'm like, "I don't need that." She's like, "Make an account." So I went and made an account, and I proceeded to not use it for 2 months because I'm a lazy bastard. And then in March of that year, we watched the Studio Ghibli film Grave of the Fireflies.
Nice. Sad.
Which anybody who's seen that knows that it's not a happy movie.
Very sad.
And my sister, instead of being a good student who does her work during one of her classes, was on the PC Googling Grave of the Fireflies reviews, and she discovered a review by the user CCJ. Which he's not too active anymore, but he was the first person on the site that I ever met and talked to. I read his review, and then I hit him up and started talking to him. We became friends. Then I met Dyna, one of the guys who's supposed to be here but isn't tonight, and
I know.
And many other users such as Alice, Fee the Bunny, and many others. And ever since then, I've slowly built myself a nice little den of lovely foxes, as my captain of the podcast would say.
Yeah.
How about you, buddy? How'd you find Kitsu?
With me, it was more of an accident a little bit, because it was, because I wasn't even looking for an anime, trending site or to even record my anime viewing, because I was just believing just viewing the anime just for experience. But anyway, so at the time, I was with another podcast called Evertaku. Den, who's supposed to be here tonight, was actually with me.
Dyna, he shows up in everything.
Exactly.
Except this podcast.
He's a legend. But he was with me in a podcast, and the captain of that podcast at that time period was, he was searching for something. And we was watching the anime seasonals, and we was like, damn, we need to really record what we watch and pinpoint certain things. And one of the members actually found Hummingbird, and it was like, cool, this is an anime tracking site. We can keep up with all the seasonals, and but the funny thing about it, immediately, because I was within another anime community at the time. So I was like, I don't know about joining Hummingbird. I don't want to start all over, try to talk to people, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't initially make an account on Hummingbird. I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it for the crew, but they don't know. I'm not really gonna integrate in the community like that. To my surprise, I started slowly talking to people in the community, and people openly opened their arms to me, and I was like, wow, this is different, because you go to certain other anime communities, they're not so open and active with you. So
it seems to happen with a lot of communities like that. Yeah, they're very easily closed off unless you're already part of the inner circle.
exactly. So I was like, wow, this is kind of different. It's like I'm talking to somebody in real life almost, but it's just talking about the medium. So as I want to say a couple months and stuff like that, I started to really integrate myself in the community, making posts, really talking about like different anime series that I love on a weekly basis, and I started to develop this kinship. And joining like Hummingbird now, Kitsu is like hands down like the second best thing I did in my life, because I have so many lovely foxes that I can call my friends that is separated throughout the world, and that's just like fucking awesome to me.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever experienced a site where I've really felt the multiculturalism of the world. I mean, I have friends here in the USA, and my girlfriend who I met on the site in Canada.
Right.
I have friends in Jordan. I have friends in England. I have friends in Australia. Everywhere around the world, we know people now.
It's really fun and exciting. It's just like people. I talk to people all the time. Some of the people in my city, they'd be like, damn, man, you really have friends like in different places, England, Japan. I'm like, yeah, man, you know. It's really cool.
It's neat to look at too, because it proves how worldwide anime really is at this point.
Mm-hmm. It really does, and it's really good.
All right, so I know one of the things that really inspired you to do this podcast in the first place was some big weekly things that are happening on Kitsu that you wanted to talk about. So I know you went out of your way to find some stuff. So what do we got?
Yeah, because I told people on Kitsu I was going to keep my eyes open for the most interesting posting styles and some good night trends, because we all know the Den love the trends.
Yes, they do. I think we've experienced maybe 3 this week.
Exactly. All right, so and then I went ahead and got the permission for all the shoutouts we're gonna do from the different users, because I had to do that for legal reasons, baby. So the first trend is from. Oh, by the way, if I mess up your name, please do not
yell.
hate me.
Just yell at him. Just yell at him. No, yeah.
Please do not hate me. I just suck with these type of things. But once I name the trend, you know what I'm talking about. Also, if you keep on hearing like the chingling, that's the chains around my neck. So sorry about that.
He's a real gangster. He can't help it. Nah, the brother just likes to accessorize, so you just have to forgive him for
Please forgive me. So if you keep on hearing this, I'm sorry. I literally sleep with I don't take the chains off. So
yeah, just imagine it like how like Christmas is full of jingles. Nuvo's
man.
he's like your personal Christmas bringing to you in your podcast, so it's okay.
There you go. I'm bringing some joy to your ears.
Joy to the Kitsu. Okay. What do we want to go about first here?
All right, the first trend is by Kane Varner.
I say Vonner too, so I don't know if it's Vayner or Vonner.
I'm gonna go with Vonner. We're gonna go with Vonner. So, I don't know if it's we just gonna go with Vonner. So, Kane Vonner, thank you for your Nico challenge.
Did you end up actually taking part in that challenge?
No, I wanted to.
Oh, no, nobody ever tagged you? I'm surprised.
Yeah, and no one tagged me, so I was like, I feel some type of way. And then by the time I got interested, the wave was kind of gone from that trend, so I was just like, all
right, so let's explain to everybody what the Nico trend was.
Okay, so in this trend, you was required to record yourself. Video wasn't really required. And all you had to do was do the Nico scene and then tag in 2 people to follow up to actually take a part of the challenge. I thought it was pretty fun from the people I seen take part of this challenge. That's what kind of like pissed me off just a little bit, because I was like, I wish I could have took part of the challenge.
Yeah, well, you know what? We are live on a recording right now. This could be our opportunity to do the Nico.
I don't know. I'm not ready. You see, when you go Nico, you gotta like flex the tongue and be in the spirit.
You gotta get high up in there. You gotta channel your inner Moe.
Exactly. And see, then this is why you need to be here. We all know you love Moe.
And he's got the cutest voice in the world.
Exactly.
He would have been perfect for this.
It's like, he fell from heaven just to do this, man. Just to do this. So
yeah, because I was tagged in it, but I never actually did it myself.
What? You was tagged and you didn't tell me?
I didn't know you wanted to do it so bad. I didn't want to do it personally at the time.
Oh man, you should.
Yeah, I was being a killjoy.
You should have told me. So the next trend is actually one that you started. So be my guest and explain to the listeners what was this trend.
It was a list I did originally, because as I am known for the list, I did 100 anime lists, and they were mostly top 10s. It was a joke turned into a thing where I went, you know what? Fuck your joke. I'm going to do it head serious. And oh my god, Dyna just appeared and all. Tell him we're recording. Type down there, Nuvo. Tell him we're recording.
Okay. Sorry.
And what happened with this was, after I finished all 100 lists, I wanted to redo the whole thing. So I wanted to go back. My first list was a top 25, so I was going to do it again. So I did a top 25 list again, but I wanted to get everybody involved. So that's exactly what I aimed out to do. So in the spirit of February, which is the month of love in my eyes, I decided that, let's spread the love. We're gonna try to get Dyna to join. I'll continue my story in the meantime. So I made a post and said, everybody, please tell me what list you want to do. And while I'm talking, Nuvo, type in the chat and tell Dyna how it works. So I asked everybody, make a list of your top 25 anime. And it blew up. Shit, I had at least 40 people take part in this. And I had made blog posts before on my personal anime blog, and I had 90-ish views at the most before that moment. And this one got over 500. But yeah, so it was a way for people to stop trying to tell you what the best anime is, and I just wanted to hear what anime they loved and why they loved it so much. And both Dyna and Nuvo took part in this. And I don't know, I think it was a great success. I don't know, you can tell me how you felt about it.
Oh yeah, I really thought it was wildly successful, man. And the funny thing, because I told you, at first I was like, top 25, your favorite. And you know me, I've seen a lot of anime, so I was like tempted not to do it at first. I was like, I don't know about this. But I just seen people keep on talking about it, and it was like, signing up. I'm like, I'm gonna do the list. I was like, ooh. The inner friend of me was like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. And then what I did was literally not think about my list. I just sat down.
Yeah, you just popped it out an hour. I worked over a week on my list.
Yeah, I just literally sat down, was like, boom. That's I'm like, boom, Hellsing. boom, back. I was just like, boom, 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 boom. I just couldn't think about it.
Yeah.
Because if I did, oh man, I wouldn't had From the New World So High. I would have had Ippo on there. I would have.
Well,
I would have had.
yeah, because you've seen a monstrous amount of anime compared to most of the users on the site.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure a lot of people see more anime than me, but I know how to track the memories, I guess.
Yeah, you've seen a lot though, and so I understand why that would take you a lot longer, but I don't know. The whole idea stemmed from I really want people who are anime fans to share more with why they love it, because I know we all have different tastes, and I want to know why that thing connects to those people so much, because if we can try to understand that, we could understand the person a bit more.
Exactly. And then that trend was just so nice because it allowed you to see interest in, well, not even allowed you to see interest in that person or user, but it allowed you to really open up your eyes to series that you never would have thought about picking up in the first place,
Yeah, it definitely introduced me to a lot of things that I never even thought about before, so now my plan to watch that I don't use is ever growing.
Yeah. Because I remember I was seeing like 1,000 people listed that I was like, I never knew about that series. I never thought about watching that series. The way they're explaining that, I want to watch that series. So it was a good trend. Very, very, very good.
Well, now everybody, Dyna is here. So Dyna, please tell everybody who you are.
Alright, hello, I'm Dyna, and I'm known as Dynama on Kitsu. Sorry I'm late, but glad to be here.
So how did you find Kitsu, Dyna?
I guess I suppose I was part of the original Hummingbird crew. I kind of migrated over to Kitsu, just like many of you. But I think I found Hummingbird through, I think Nuvo probably knows this, but we were originally part of an anime site called ZincView, and that was another kind of anime site, social media kind of anime site, where we met different people, and I think Hummingbird was recommended by someone, and we just decided to check it out, and I told myself, hey, I don't have a My Anime list, and I think it's a good idea for me to have some sort of way to keep track of my anime. And yeah, and it started from there.
Oh, wonderful. So you haven't missed much. We're in the middle of talking about trends that he found over the past week, and we did our introduction. So you're pretty good game to help discuss stuff as we continue here.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's up to you, Nuvo. What's the next trend? Unless we were talking about the top 25 list that I did. So I don't know. Did you want to mention what your thoughts on that whole trend, Dyna?
I really like it. It's always fun to discuss your personal tops, just show what passion and, your own personal, likes and dislikes about the series, and, I like it. Definitely one of my favorite trends.
Yeah, I always really enjoy trying to get people's personal insight on why they are so attached to the anime that they are.
Exactly. So let's get to the next trend, since Din finally arrived from the Shadow Realm.
Sorry,
Alright.
Busy doing, he couldn't help it.
I know, right? Alright, so the next trend was by Cape Baldy 21. I think I said that right.
Oh yeah, Caped Baldy 21, who used to formerly known as Dylan 21.
Yeah. I love that user.
One Punch Man dude.
So anyway, the name of the trend was Kitsu username score. So it wasn't like a fully blown trend, but I liked it enough, so I wrote it down. So basically, what you needed to do was to see your Kitsu username score, and you was supposed to Google search. Basically, type your username into the Google search, right? Now afterwards, then you will get a score with how many people voted for you. So like a 7 out of 10, and you might have like 4 votes, 3 votes.
Yeah, so, I remember that. How many votes and what was your score?
Mine was a 7. And I thought that was cool. But what was fascinating about it, the whole thing, I was like, how do they come up with the voting for this?
I asked Nuck about it, and he said that it must have been something random that Google did.
Yeah, but
I agree, it's definitely something random. When I typed my name, I didn't appear, so...
When I typed mine in, I got a 7.8, and I had over 1,000 ratings.
damn.
I'm really not sure what Google's algorithm is to draw those ratings.
Oh yeah, no, it's beyond our understanding, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was like a high power working right there. But I was like, I got a 7. That's nice. But I just want
You gotta work your game up, man. Gotta get to an 8 out of 10.
I know. I was like not 7.5, but just a 7. I'm cool
Now, granted,
with that. I'm cool with that.
Dyna's so good, he didn't even have a rating.
I know. That's how BC was.
Consider mine as a 0.
Oh man. So the next one was which anime character am I like? And this blew up like bam! Like as soon as I hit the site, I was like, wow, this is really trending. It was like really trending.
Yeah, it started from Malice.
Yeah.
She just did it for fun, and then the next day, everybody started doing it.
Yeah, because at first it was trending so much because I don't take a part of all the trends, but this one I was like, wow, it was like post after post after post. I was like, now I'm curious to see how my followers view me. So let me ask a question. It was nice because it was really interesting with the responses I got from my followers. So, what was the next?
Yeah, it's fun to just look how the community that you're around and interact with so much, how they view you.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you even do it, Dyna, or did you just kind of lurk?
I lurked, my typical self.
Yeah,
I lurked.
Lurked real hard, I'm sure.
I lurked really hard. If I do, I think the only trend I've been a part of was that top 25.
I broke him out of the lurkness.
Oh, see, there you go. You broke everybody.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, it wasn't really a whole lot of trends, but with that, it was like, boom. And then it was a nice trend to carry us to the new year, so.
I still have people too making top 25 lists, so that'll end up getting bumped again sometime soon.
Exactly. See, that's awesome. That's how you know it was an actual trend that set the whole site ablaze. All right. So the next one, our beloved Alice made. So basically, all you had to do was name what was the anime series, what was the Attack on Titan anime series starting from your birth, or your favorite anime each year since your birth. Man.
Oh, that's the most recent one.
Man. You missed it.
The most recent one, which Nuvo for some reason was so drunk that he left out several years of his birthday and made himself younger.
1998. I was born in this year. No, you're not.
Yeah. Keep telling yourself that, buddy.
Oh man. Yeah.
I have a spreadsheet up with all that stuff picked out, but I haven't actually made mine yet, so I think I'll do it sometime soon.
I'm very interested to see that because I made it. Yeah, like I said, I was intoxicated at the time, so I started from 1998 instead of started from 93. I was like,
and I remember when Fee asked you, wow, I didn't know you were that young, and then you were like, yeah, totally, man, I totally started at the year I was born. And when I read that, I was like, wait, 1998? What's going on here?
Let's say, yeah, man, you're not that young. So you're 93, baby. How old are you, Dyna? Are you 93, baby, too, or 92, baby?
92.
92. I'm the oldest, so that's weird. I'm 91.
Hey, sequential.
Yeah. So as the years go, they get more fickle with their way of their age. Look at Nuvo, just thinks he's born in '98.
Oh, Nuvo, you can't escape from your age.
Oh man,
It always catches up. It always does.
I know, right? Because I was looking at it, I was like, at first I was like, why would he ask me that? And then I looked at my list real closely, and I was like, oh shit, I started at 98, not 93.
I was just like Dyna. I was terribly confused when I looked at everything. I'm like, wait a minute. I feel like there's something missing here.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Oh man, yeah, that was pretty funny.
What you got next? What you got next, buddy? What's the next trend?
Actually, I think that's all the trends I wrote it down within the last 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, we got some individual posts we wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So I'll talk about the first one. So awesome. This was done by Wexter. Now, honestly, I'm not a big fan of the idea of this post because the way the post was is he said, if I get 100 likes, I will watch and review all of Sword Art Online, and if I get 200, I'll do like a video review or something like that. Now, while he has kept up his end of the bargain and has made a very interesting and fun to read review series on it, I feel like this is very insulting to the anime and the people who are fans of it. By saying that you would only watch it if people gave you enough attention to tell you that you should watch this anime that is supposedly going to be a difficult watch.
Basically saying ahead of time that you know this is going to be a very groan-worthy or bad show to watch.
Yeah, which you never know because you could always be surprised. Dyna and me are very well known for having different tastes on certain series. And this is not an issue between us and our friendship at all. Like,
or is it? I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, put your dukes up, buddy. But like, for instance, I've watched a few shows of him. I watched No Game No Life, which it kind of expected me to dislike, but I did watch it with an open mind and then gave it a good attempt. And then he also gave me another anime in the same genre of the psychological genre called 1 Ounce.
Nice.
This one, however, I really, really enjoyed, and I didn't write it off. But like, say I picked a series that one of you two loves. Like, let's say I picked Ippo, Nuvo.
Nice.
And I said, if you guys give me 100 likes, I'll go watch Ippo and review it. Does that not feel like I'm insulting Ippo a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I feel like it's more like you're asking them, hey, it's like you're asking for a favor when it's like, it should be your own judgment to watch it.
And then almost, I didn't like about it, even though it's nothing against the user at all, but it just almost like you want likes. I didn't like that part. I was like, why that many to watch a series? Now, if you is like interested to watch an anime series, just watch it. It's cool to have that interaction with your followers, but this you shouldn't have had that required number. Even though I don't know.
Because the thing about it that bothered me was, now I don't mind if you did like a post like, if I get this many likes, then I'll review this series, because that gives you enough incentive to know that people are interested in seeing you writing about that. But to watch it is a different story. Thankfully, he has kept up his end of the bargain, and he's been very open-minded and respectful about the way he's covered Sword Art Online. So that much has always been enjoyable.
We're definitely not, dissing you any, Wexter. I'm sure you're a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
We're just
Wexter
talking about this one in particular.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very intelligent person, and he's went about this in a way where he wanted to experience it without the bias of other people, and I think he's done a great job of that. It's just the intention of the post came off to me in that light, and I really wish he would have went about it slightly differently.
I feel you. Yeah, especially, let's just say if I was like a huge fanboy of Sword Art and I read his review, I'd probably be like, damn, But
yeah, if you like Sword Art Online, it's perfectly fine,
Yeah, I mean, I actually find it pretty fun to watch, even though it's, not by any means one of my favorite shows.
You just find like it's a general trend. It's almost a trend of its own to hate Sword Art Online. It's like a trend of its own.
Yeah, there have been
And
certain shows like Madoka and Attack on Titan that have received that treatment, but nothing like Sword Art. Alright, buddy, so let's move on to a more positive post that was done. This one was done by the Aaron730.
Yes.
I thought this one was a fascinating one. He wanted to brew up a discussion amongst the community about which anime, despite from whenever it was made, that you still think to this day just holds up and looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
I
thought that post was nice. It was real nice. I didn't respond because I couldn't really name a series at that time. But I'm just looking at the replies like, just, you know how you just look at it post and you just like,
you're just like, yeah, you guys got it. You guys got it.
you get what I'm saying? I'm just smiling and I'm just like, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I feel you, you know? So I just really...
Now, if you could think of something, both of you, and I'll try to name one too. What is an anime that you think that has aged incredibly well visually?
Redline is a show I think will probably never, completely age out. It's just a show that's the studio spent 7 years drawing frame by frame, and it just shows in the complete package. It's gorgeous visually.
When did Redline come out again?
I believe in close to 2009 or 2010.
Yeah.
So they're working on it through that whole mid 2000s period.
It's beautiful.
That's kind of cool.
Beautiful series.
Yeah, like 2009-ish, something like that.
What about you, Nuvo? What anime would you like to call out as being something to this day still just blows your mind with how nice it looks?
I'm gonna go with Air. I think it came out 2000. I could be wrong. I think 2007, but it's still just like, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. If I had to pick something, I think I'll go back and I could pick a movie, but movies always get more budget put into them and time spent. I'll mention Yu Hakusho. Came out in 1994 and was another one of the classic traditionally animated series, and I think to this day it's still one of the most fluid action series that I've had the pleasure of watching.
I haven't seen that show, but I hear it delivers on its action, and like you said, it's very fluid.
And I would also like to, let's give a call out to it. It's 25th anniversary this year, so 25 years have passed since it came out originally, because it came out in 94 here, but it came out in 92 in Japan originally. And to this day, like, if you watch GIFs of it, it really holds up really well when you look at a lot of anime that came out in the late 90s and early 2000s that have not aged very well at all. Because, if you look in the modern era, most things look pretty good at this point.
Yes.
Animation has definitely found itself a nice little folding point for that stuff.
Definitely, especially with releases such as Your Name and Garden of Words. Those movie, but those are movies, yes.
Yeah, but Shinkai, my goodness,
Shinkai
is he's a monster when it comes to animation.
Oh yes.
Are you the back, Nuba?
Yeah, is it better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay. Alright. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
It wouldn't be anything like a first podcast if we didn't have a guy join late and some technical issues.
I know, right? Alright, so I love the answers that I heard, especially Redline, because I just think just the hand drawing thing and what they was able to do with that whole situation was just like fantastic. I was like, wow, just mind blowing. And you watch it now, and we in 2000. What year we in right now?
We're in 2017. If you stop sipping the Kool-Aid, my brother.
Yeah, sorry. It's off day, so yeah. So 2017, yeah. So yeah, it looked real good, really good. So, all right. We can go into how much we love the groups now.
Yeah. Okay, so next we want to talk about features that are back and some features that we want to return as well. I know this is a little late at this point because it took us a little bit to get this organized, but groups are finally back for...
Yes!
It was about, 3 months for us to wait to get them, so it was nice to get them to return. Now we can organize all of our lewds, our streams, and many other things.
Exactly. I just think it's nice. Every time when we get like a feature or add on to the community, I just think it's pretty cool. Just to have the groups like an extra addition to the site is pretty neat. That, and like you said, we can just split off certain things into its right pairing or branch off. So
yeah, it's like the three of us and a few of our other friends are all in a very small, tight-knit group of anime fans, and we like to do group watches. So now we have a organized little place to do that instead of having to do it all on my wall.
Exactly. We Studio Ghibli fanboys, so it's nice to have our group back.
And something I did not put in our outline that I forgot to put there, but I'm sure you'll both be happy is back too, is the feedback page. We have a feedback page.
Yes.
Yes, I just found that out today.
For real, then.
Man, you're
Literally
slow on the uptake there, huh?
A little bit.
It's all good. It happens sometimes.
But now we have the ability to not only report bugs, but we can request features to be added to the site. So if enough people upvote your suggestion and the way you leave it there, we have a lot of stuff that has already been labeled as being in progress now.
Yes, and it's like so good. It's so good. And because I think it was like a needed feature to happen anyway. Because you go on the site and you be like, I wish this would happen. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, and then I think it's like less stress free for like Josh, so people won't have to keep on going directly to his page and keep like, well, you should do this, you should do that, the group and staff should do this, So I think having that feature, it kind of bogs down that problem, and it's pretty like just neat to root for certain things to get voted very high up the Fox chart. So
I think it's nice too that you can tell that the creator of the site is clearly trying to leave an open forum for people to leave ideas, so you can see what the people want, so your site can improve. Because it's been a downfall of a lot of social sites to ignore the wants of the users on the site 100%, and then they just stop using it because they're tired of not being listened to.
that is true.
It's also key to update it with new things, because some social media sites, look at you, MySpace, just people just seem to forget it because nothing seems to be added into it. And I feel like Twitter seems to be on that trend to sort of start to die down. It seems like Instagram and Facebook are the ones that maintaining their social media.
Facebook is
supremacy.
definitely, it's the king of the market right now. Instagram's starting to figure it out because Instagram allows you to leave a little blurb and a picture. So you got a good thing going on there. It's a good combo. But yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about how Twitter is having issues maintaining its its user base because of it doesn't have much to offer for longevity.
Yeah, that, and it's starting to get, it's like a now thing. It's no future, you know what I'm saying? You can't really see it in the future type of thing. Where, Facebook got other things that, leaning on that you can actually see in the future, and it helps its users and stuff.
Yeah, because I think one of the greatest weaknesses of Twitter is every other social media site has the same function. You can pretty much say whatever you want in a small blurb post. But Twitter not only limits how much you have, it doesn't have any other features.
Exactly. It's just you speaking your mind when you can do that on any other social media platform.
Dyna can't use Twitter to have his very own localized group for his lewds. And what is he supposed to do? He needs to go to a different site. That's what Kitsu's there for.
He love Moe,
Exactly.
so he can't talk about Moe and, swag and all that good jazz like that, man. Come on.
And I mean,
I got that private group to myself.
Yeah, he's got to post at least 42 to 34 because I'm gonna go in reverse. Boob gifts a day, or he won't be satisfied.
Yeah. He can't explain the Moe greatness with just 42 characters. Who can do that?
Nobody can do it.
Please note, I actually don't have a group on Kitsu, so please don't think wrong of me.
You hear that? Everybody in the comments below, you need to go to Dyna's wall and keep berating him until he makes a group.
You go straight to his page, be like, make that Moe swag group that they was talking about in that podcast.
There are plenty of those groups.
Yeah, they flood the group page.
But you is not the leader of the pack, man. You need to be.
He would never maintain it either.
Oh man.
All right, and then we also want to talk about some things that are back for features, or not that are back, but things that we want to come back. So one thing Nuvo mentioned is the industry news on the front feed of Kitsu it's stagnant. It almost never changes. It's been talking about the same thing for almost a month now, if I remember correctly, maybe even longer.
Yeah, I want that to come back. I think it's real important for the users to stay up to date with the media, just because we is on an anime social site and you want to keep up to date with what's going on in the industry. I mean, some people might not be that into the medium like that, but I know as you grow older and you start to watch certain series and get attached to certain voice actors and creators of anime series, you want to know what new works they working on and stuff like that. So I think it's real important for Kitsu to have that updated and not just stagnant.
I'm not sure if maybe one of you two can confirm for me, but the industry feature seems to draw from the original forums of the Hummingbird website, and it seems to update based on the latest post, the date of the latest post, and not necessarily on the date that the news was posted. So I'm not sure if it's someone maintaining the news section, or is it just sort of like updating based on when was the latest comment on a specific industry, like news industry thread, which, possibly can be from last year. And I think one of the posts I see consistently was Attack on Titan second season. And I don't think there has been new news on that. It's just people commenting in that thread, saying that it's going to come out in a week. And that's just constantly updating.
Yeah, I think you're actually you hit the head on the nail there. I forgot about that the news was linked to the forum. So, and only I think a chunk of us are still logged into the forums from the original Hummingbird. So not many people have access to it. So only those very select people. So that would be why it's so stagnant. But that'd be a good reason why they need to separate that and then actually make that be updated.
Yeah. Because he hit that on the nail. As soon as he said it was connected to the forum server, I was like, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. And then, I mean, we do got a group where it's called like Kitsu News Network, I believe, where you get updated with medium news dates, like announcements for different series and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just want to like
But yeah,
you just.
Well, no, but again, that forces you to have to know that group exists and join it. So having it actually,
I didn't know that existed.
See, I didn't either. So
see, didn't even know it existed. So.
That makes both of us. And then something else Nuvo mentioned that he would love to add to the industry news, because we have anime news, would to have maybe another tab with it for those who are interested, because when we do have a lot of users on the site who are very active politically, have some worldwide trending news stories, kind of like how Facebook has a feed on the site that tells you worldwide news stories in a variety of ways. Now, this wouldn't be the default option, but you could switch to it to look at it whenever you want.
Yeah, I believe it's important just because a lot of people like to actually talk about like the real world issues and stuff like that. I know it could be heavy for some users. They don't want to see that because Kitsu is like could be the great escape from reality. So I think it should be like still be a function or a feature where you can turn on and then you could get updated on what happened worldwide, So I just think it would be a neat little feature to have, because a lot of people like to talk about what happened in a space or environment, and having Kitsu be the outlet to talk to many people around the world, it can get like some type of kinship and can help a whole lot of problems. Like, say that horrible incident that happened in Paris. If you actually had a user in Paris and you were able to talk to somebody live when that happened, and maybe you can better comfort them, stuff like that. I don't know. I just think the worldwide news would be like kind of neat to have.
Well, it's nice to have people be informed about what's going on around the world.
Yeah, I just think it would be neat. Just to
That
have.
means Kitsu definitely have to move away from being an anime exclusive social media. It's gonna probably move towards more of a actual social media, just general.
Right. I think that's the plan, but let's see. What's next?
Okay, well, this is a good segue to go into telling some actual news stories that happened over the past week. If you did not happen to hear them here on the podcast, we'll share them with you, and we'll discuss our thoughts on these news stories that have occurred. I have been spending the past few days trying to ring up some good things that are actually interesting, because there's a bunch of stuff like, this anime is going to be coming out next, week. Well, no shit, everybody knows that. But there are more interesting news stories, so I have about 7 or 8 of them written down here, so we can work through them if you would like to. So, first off, I didn't actually know this, but Nuvo and Lucy, before she went off to sleep, both mentioned it to me. The finale of Naruto Shippuden aired today.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Happy how many hundreds of episodes?
I think in at least the 700, right?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know, Nuvo, you watched it, right? How many episodes did Naruto get up to?
Jesus, it's like 100 plus. I know that. I know it's like 100 plus. I know it's like maybe 149.
I know.
Maybe more than that.
I know Shippuden alone had like 400 here. I'll use the magical
Jesus.
power of Google and look.
400. Like,
It's definitely not One Piece level, but it's definitely in the several hundreds.
I stopped watching Naruto Shippuden
Okay, so wow, that's amazing. So it ended up finishing Shippuden alone with exactly 500 episodes.
Jesus,
Wow.
that's too long.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, well, it's ironic too because the manga actually finished with exactly 700 chapters as well. So.
That's 100 episodes.
Those fillers were planned.
Yeah, probably Studio Pierrot was rubbing their palms together, thinking.
500.
Alright, 100 episodes of fillers.
I mean, I heard the end of it was dragged on a lot.
Yeah, it was not pretty, man. It's not pretty.
When the series does go, though, does roll, it is entertaining and very good.
Oh, yeah.
But, like you said, the series does get a little bit stagnant with the constant fillers.
The fillers bogged Naruto Shippuden greatness. Because it was at a point where I want to say, I was like, this might beat out my Bleach crave. But once the fillers started kicking in, it just bogged down all the excitement for me in the series. It's still a great and enjoyable series, but
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where I think it kills a lot of shonen action anime is they draw it out to such an excessive period where they even derail the excitement from their diehard fans. I mean, I get why they do it. Naruto will always remain as probably the most popular Western anime that's come out in the past 15 years. And that's even including Attack on Titan. I mean, Naruto influenced a generation of anime fans, and it's very, very important for what it is. And we salute you, Kishimoto, for your work and the adaptation that was made from it. But your anime adaptation did drag on just a wee bit, my friend. Not your fault, of course. I was disappointed with the manga. We could discuss that some other time if we ever do like a manga-based discussion in here. But if you have any more on it, we can continue. But if you want to, I'll go to the next news story.
yeah. Next story.
So, are either one of you familiar with the very popular romance manga that came out in the early 2000s that was Ichigo or Strawberry 100%?
I heard of it.
I am not familiar.
Okay, so back in the early 2000s, it was a very hugely popular shoujo romance series that did incredibly well, and it ran from 2002 to 2005, and it supposedly finished with a very complete story. However, we got announced this past week that it is getting a sequel manga. So I guess there's more story to be told with these characters. So if you are a fan of this manga, or I believe there is an anime adaptation of it, be excited. There's more to come. Or be angry. I don't know if you could be angry about it because you're like, no more.
I heard of it, but I never dived into its contents, though. Maybe I should now, though.
I mean, I've heard it's really good. I made a list about 2 years ago about like an A to Z anime I wanted to read, and not anime, manga. You don't read anime. I mean, I guess you do if you watch subbed, but and that was on the list. I just never got around to it.
I might check it out. All right, what's next?
Let's see. There are 2 manga that are returning very soon that have been on a hiatus. The big one that's coming back like very, very soon that everybody's like, getting off the boat for is Berserk. The Berserk manga is finally going off a regular hiatus and is supposed to be returning with regular monthly installments of its series. So hopefully we'll eventually get to see how Guts' story pans out and how everything is supposed to be in that very dark fantasy series.
Okay.
Which means that in the future we'll probably get another adaptation of Berserk that probably isn't CGI.
I'll be happy with that if it is, because that's the one reason I couldn't even watch, and I won't be watching the new season either. Is the CGI isn't just bad; it's really bad.
Really bad.
I'm not against CGI. Like I watched Nuvo knows about this, but I watched Ajin and what was the other one? Nice Sidonia?
Yeah, Nice Sidonia.
Very entertaining series, despite being CGI 3D. Still very entertaining.
Yeah, Nice Sidonia is like the one you be like, hold up, that was actually good. But with Berserk, it was just, I can't do it. CGI would just like...
it'd be sad, too, because you would see half of a scene where they didn't CGI it, and you'd be like, that looks kind of nice. Why don't they keep doing that?
It'd be having potential. You'd be like, hold up, it's about to translate into regular animation. Nope. Nope.
They're teasing you. They're just like, you want regular animation? Here's a clip? Alright, back to 3D.
Exactly. You'd be like, you see that scenery? Regular animation, then go back to CG.
Yeah, it destroys it. So another manga that is returning very soon, this one has an official release date for it, since I think Berserk is actually coming out in the latest issue of its manga magazine that it comes out in. On May 19th, the manga for Black Lagoon is returning.
Oh!
So,
for real?
If that continues to do well, we can cross our fingers and hope that more anime does get made in the future for it, because any of us who've seen Black Lagoon know that it left us just craving for more.
Yes. Oh my god, I can't. Please do well.
Well, yeah, I'm very happy to see it's coming back. On a more somber note, the manga creator for High School of the Dead, Daisuke Satao, he passed away the other day from heart disease at the age of 52. So, condolences to those close to him and his family for his passing. That's way too young. 52 is,
yeah, that's
my mom is older than that, so.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear about that passing.
And I actually heard pretty good things about its manga too. It's one of those ones like Rosario Vampire. I've heard its manga adaptation is actually a lot more serious and a lot less fan servicey than its anime counterpart.
Yeah, even though
everybody loves those well animated, fun action scenes with Matrix like booby graphics.
Yeah.
One of the first High School Dead was one of the first ecchi genre animes I've ever watched, and what an intro.
Now, I will say, even though that opening is, you probably shouldn't watch it with your parents.
Oh yeah.
I think that song is killer.
Oh yeah.
I think the ending songs are really good.
Yeah,
too.
I don't remember it too well. I'm gonna go listen to it after this podcast just to.
Yeah, I think each one had its own different ending theme song, all sung by a very talented female singer.
I know, weirdly enough, man.
I'm not sure. I forgot her name. It was like Mao Kurosaki or something like that, but very talented.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you there though, Dyna. High School of the Dead was my very first ecchi based anime as well. So I tip my hat to Daisuke Satao, and may your work, though uncompleted, continue to be popular for years to come and introduce more people into the world of animated zombie fighting.
Cheers to
We need
that.
more shows like that.
Next two things I want to talk about are two films that are supposed to be coming out later this year. So the more recent one that will be coming out is coming out on April 7th, so very, very soon. It's by Masaki Yuasa. If you don't know who he is the creative mind behind the animes for the Tatami Galaxy and Ping Pong the Animation. And he has two films coming out this year, but this one's coming out very soon. It's called Yoru wa Michikashi Arukeo Otome, or The Night is Short, Walk On Girl. There's not a lot of info on it, but it looks to be a very similar to his other films, where it has a very, very distinct art style about something very relatable to adult life and romance. So I think it should be pretty interesting.
I'm looking forward to that. What's the other one?
I don't know if either one of you are a fan or seen his other work like Ping Pong or Tatami, but I'm, for one, very excited to see what more he makes.
Oh yeah, Ping Pong was like, I don't want to say masterpiece, but it was really, really fantastic.
I mean, you saw it. You could say it's a masterpiece. Me and Dyna won't disagree. I mean, if we do, it doesn't. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I would rate it up that high. And Tatami was actually good. I just didn't think Tatami was as great as people praise it. I like Ping Pong a lot more better.
Now, did you did you go to university at all or college?
Yeah.
You did? Okay. See, that's. Did you watch Tatami before or after you went to college?
After.
After. Oh, I'm surprised, because Tatami's very much about the college life, so I figured you would enjoy it more. But I could get the art style and the weird pacing of the episodes being a little off for you.
Well, I enjoy. No, okay. I don't dislike it by any means. I actually like the series. It just. I don't.
It's not one of your favorites.
Love it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't love you. If you go on it then and you just throw it out there, I guarantee you will get a lot of people like, I love it, I adore it. I couldn't say that. I would be like, I enjoyed it, but
I have a lot of anime I like that, so I understand that very well.
yeah. Sorry, I just didn't.
Okay, so the other film that's coming out is going to be coming out in August later this year, and it's a original film made by Madhouse. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're a fan of Madhouse, which I know Dyna loves a lot of their works, we know they're going to be making a very beautiful film. Because, I don't know if you guys know, but they pretty much are the main animation company that made most of Mamoru Hosoda and Satoshi Kon's films, so they're actually pretty well known for making very pretty anime films. When you think Wolf Children and Tokyo Godfathers, it was them.
Nice.
And Redline.
And Redline. So, and I mean, they're a company that needs to be praised for how much effort they put into their animation. Now, if they would just finish anime series they began. I was about to say, because if you like Kaiji or Chihaya Furu, you're just biting your fingernails off until you're bleeding, going, "Where's the more?"
I know. It's just like.
Which is why I was very surprised when they announced One Punch Man Season 2.
That can tell you how much it sold, though.
I knew they was going to do a sequel. It was like one rare occurrence. I was like, there's no way they not giving this a sequel. It was too popular. It was no way they would turn down that money and not give it a sequel.
So this film, its title in Japanese is Kimi no Ko wo Todoketai, and the English translation of that is I Want to Deliver Your Voice. So this one actually has a small synopsis. They actually give us more to work with. So, as the title suggests, the theme of this film is voice. The story focuses on a high school girl, Nagisa Yukiai, who lives in a seaside town. She has believed her grandmother's story that spirits dwell in words, and they are called Kododama, which means word spirit. One day, she strays into a mini FM station, which is a radio station if you didn't know, that has not been used for years. As an impulse of the moment, she tries to talk like a DJ using the facility, but her voice accidentally broadcasted reaches someone she had never expected. Now I find this very
I'm interested.
I find this very interesting because, as well as both of you know, anime is a medium where the voice is one of the most powerful and important parts of it. So to have a film all about the idea of voice, it's fascinating.
Damn. I'm interested. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. When did it come out
Movie by
again?
Madhouse is an insta-watch for me.
Yeah, well, movie with a great concept made by Madhouse. For one, you know it's going to be pretty, it's not going to scamp on the details, and if the story hits with you, you got a classic in your hands.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm not sure who's attached to directing of it. I'll see if I can scrap that up later for us, but maybe next week. And I felt like the most appropriate thing to end our news topic on was the most trending anime news story of the week. There is soon to be on August 25th later this year a live action movie or TV series, I can't remember which one it is, for Death Note.
Oh, you talking about
that Netflix series?
Yeah.
You talking about the Netflix one?
Yeah,
right.
So we're getting a Death Note American Western adaptation of it. So how do you guys feel about it? Have you watched the trailers?
I have seen it, and honestly, I think I think Western adaptations, to me it looks a little bit better than the Japanese one, just because it just seems like they put a lot more
Production value into it, yeah.
Production value, definitely. And I believe I saw a few clips of the Japanese, and I believe those Shinigamis were CGI.
Yeah, they look really, really weird. Like if you see Ryuk in the Japanese film, he looks really odd. But I think in this one, he's done with very great practical effects instead and costumes.
And yeah, this brings back the whole topic that Ghost in a Shell also brought up, and that's the whole replacing of the original Japanese cast with an English cast.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I watched it. At first, I was like, I don't know, and then I watched it again. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a chance. Just because the production value to me is there. I'm like, compared to the Japanese one, production value is there. The Shikigami going to look 1,000 times better from what I've seen in the trailer anyway.
Trying to get William Dafoe as Ryuk, and that's at least fitting.
Yeah, and the only thing that could turn me off is the dramatics. If they don't land on certain things that I remember from the series, then it's going to be a no-go. But I'm giving it a chance. I have faith. I think this is going to succeed because it's on Netflix. Because Netflix just don't sign on to flops like that, So I think it has a great chance to succeed. I think even Ghost in the Shell, I think is going to succeed. I think we're gonna be 2 out of 2 finally for that.
Now I'm gonna sit here as the skeptical one because while I think both of them will be watched and make plenty of money for the production values that entice audiences, for Ghost in the Shell, I think it's going to miss out on one thing that the series is known for, and that's the psychological aspect of it.
You think so?
I think the movie is going to sell on what people love here in the West, and that is action. Action is going to be the biggest premise of it, and I don't think they're going to be able to deliver with the psychological thematics that the original film and Standalone Complex and all the other spin-offs of the series have been able to produce. I could be wrong, of course, but that's what I've garnered so far from the trailers.
There's actually a 4-minute clip of it available on YouTube, so if you are interested in seeing how it's like, check out that 4-minute clip. It's actually quite good.
That's interesting. I think they're actually going to lean more on the psychological than the action, and I think they don't scare me because this is my thing with it. If they lean on the psychological aspect more than the action, it won't sell well.
No, yeah, you're right. It won't, but that's why it won't be Ghost in the Shell as much. It'll be the.
I know, but remember, we just want for all the Ghost in the Shell fans, please don't hate me, but I just want an anime adapt to do well in the box office.
I mean,
So-
it will no matter what, because Scarlett Johansson is in a bodysuit, so people are going to be going to see it just for that.
Well, I love Scarlett Jo. Don't get me wrong.
I do too.
But-
She's a great actress, and she's incredibly
She-
gorgeous. It's just
Exactly.
I don't know if she's
attractive,
fit to
but-
be the main character of that film or not.
Why do people say that though? Like, okay, like, what other American actress would you have play her though?
I'd probably try
You
to
know?
find somebody who's an unknown instead of a blockbuster star who's got some talent that's been in an indie film or two, and try to find somebody who really feels like they could capture the feel better.
But the only problem with that is, remember, you trying to make a box office money big cash grab.
See, but that's with
So-
me. I am with movies. I am anti box office, and I am pro creativity being the major selling point of the film.
Oh, I'm with you. I like content in my films, but just for this, remember, to me, I want this to be a hit, so we see a following pattern. Almost. So that's.
I mean, like, if it can somehow be successful enough to make more people willing to look into Japanese medium works and adapt them here, that's fine. That'll be great. But I would prefer to see a work that feels more like it very feels much like the original animated film and the ideas, and then it would be Oscar nominated by the next year. Because that's what they always pay attention to. They never pay attention to box office, if you see. They always look at movies that are very thematically deep in the way they're written. And the only films that get ignored for that typically are animated films, so this would be a great way for an anime adaptation to get some light.
I'm totally with you.
Shout out to those in North America. Your Name, obviously,
Yes.
is being released in theaters on April 7th.
Yes, I'll be going to see it, actually. It'll be going to here in my local theater. I already bought tickets for it.
I will as well.
It's so good. It's so.
Because I have not seen it yet, so I'm eagerly awaiting to watch the theatrical version of it.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
and I am
It's so good.
ecstatic that it's so
Well-
popular. And it's being released in almost every major theater across
Because
the
I've
country.
also seen, I believe, 7 Ghibli films in theater, so I'm very versed in theater experience for anime films, and nothing beats it. And now for Death Note, it's the same thing for me. I don't think the kid who's playing Light Yagami feels like Light Yagami.
Oh, he doesn't to me either.
And I also just think it's strange that L is black for some reason.
No, that's crazy as fuck, and it's coming from a black man. So
Yeah,
I was like,
he should have been a pale white guy. I mean, if you're gonna
Yeah,
westernize it, make him a pale white guy.
look, no disrespect for the brothers and sisters, but why the fuck is L black? I don't know.
It's like the same thing
Why?
they did in the Fantastic Four reboot that did awful in Tanked, where they decided to make Johnny Storm randomly black for some random reason.
Like why? It's just like you in a board meeting and you just go, what? Let's make him black. Why? Like
Yeah.
you're trying to appeal to the. I know what you're trying to do, but no.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I get the whole people like arguing about either whitewashing or trying to be like, oh, we have to have as many races and cultures as possible in our thing. But
Right,
for me,
but
I just like if
fuck
it's an
that.
adaptation with the same characters, try to make the characters feel as close to the originals as possible. I don't care what
Exactly.
origin. I'm gonna make
Yes.
everybody black if you're gonna make L black. Then make it the Black Death Note.
Would you think it would lack the cultural diverseness?
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna, because in Death Note, like in anime, there are black characters in things. So, like, if there was a character who's black in a show, like say Black Lagoon, we have Dutch, he's black.
Right.
If they adapted that, I don't want him not to be black. I want him to be a black character.
Right.
So, like, but if you're gonna adapt it, like, obviously they're using Western actors, so everybody for the most part is gonna be Western. It feels more probable to make people fit a race that's closer to that character. I don't know. Maybe they felt like this. I mean, who cares if he's black if he ends up doing a good performance? It's an odd thing for an adaptation to change the race of a character to me. Or gender, because they do that sometimes too. They'll just change the gender of characters in adaptations for no apparent reason, other than to appeal to a certain demographic.
I'm I'm with you, dude.
I mean, I could be wrong. He could end up being the greatest L performance aside from the animated version ever, if they ever make more adaptations. And if that's the case, then I'll salute him and give him a big wet kiss.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Definitely have to also keep in mind that any sort of Japanese adaptation, you have to be wary of the audience that's going to view it. So I feel like if they did all this to make sure that the audience, there's a viewable audience here that will be enticed.
Yeah.
Because I feel if you adopt certain series and keep the original, I don't know, charm of the original show. I wouldn't say charm. Charm's probably a bad word, but keep the original feeling and the themes of the original show. It might not appeal to a lot of the Western audience. So.
Yeah, because depending on the series, you might alienate the audience in a different culture. For me, though, the reason with Death Note, I don't think that is because Death Note was a massive hit over here in the West. Even a lot of people who don't really watch anime have seen Death Note because of its story is one that appeals to Western audiences because it's a detective story at its base.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I mean, you could be right that maybe that's what they thought that was the best way to sell it to this culture. We'll have to see what happens with it, though.
But yeah, I like to look on the bright side of things, and I am very happy that they are doing a adaptation of an anime.
Yeah, I mean, at least it looks more true to Death Note than Dragon Ball Evolution ever did to its original.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, here's to us, either if we're positive about it or skeptical. We hope the best for you, Death Note. Please, just make the adaptation work for us somehow.
We are praying.
Same to you, Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell and Death Note, they have a big burden to carry. Just like how video game films have failed for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Can an anime adaptation work? It can. I mean, technically, the manga adaptation that's a little bit different for that movie with Tom Cruise that came out a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
That was good.
Did very, very well. So
that was good.
And they like Dyna said, they changed that for Western audiences. So that might be what makes these two films, series and films succeed.
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
Okay, so we're getting towards the wrap-up of this podcast. We wanted to do a few things like recommendations and questions of the week. So recommendations of the week. Nuvo, you are head honcho, so what's an anime that you think our viewers should go and watch in this next between this next recording and come back and tell us what they thought of it?
Okay. It's something recently. Y'all heard of Little Witch Academy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Little Witch Academia? Yeah, I know it.
Yeah. So, I recommend that. Just because it's like literally everything Harry Potter should have been, but just animated. So, if you like Harry Potter and you like that nostalgic, almost Studio Ghibli, but not, I would recommend watching this series because it just give me that. I don't know how to explain
the magic,
like
man.
That.
The magic. It's making you feel the magic.
There you go. It just got that.
Like Dyna's smile does. It makes us feel the magic.
Yes, and it's just like so. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the magic because I can't really phrase it in the words. It's just like each episode just had me like, yeah, this is good. This is good.
It's magic. Okay, so I don't know. Do either one of you read manga?
Not as much as I should. But I read some.
I do not actually.
Okay, so I guess I will do the manga recommendation of this week then. I will recommend the manga for. Well, why not? Let's be cliche, and I'll pick my favorite manga. My favorite manga is the classic shonen series, Rurouni Kenshin.
Yes.
It's 28 volumes. It's set in the post-Edo period after the famous giant war that happened in Japan about a wandering samurai and his journey to try to atone for the lives he took when he was a famous manslayer back during the war. There's a lot more to it, but one reason to really be excited for it is if you are a fan and have read it or seen it and wanting to know, very soon there are more arcs coming out in the manga, Watsuki, the original creator, is continuing the story. So if you really enjoy Rurouni Kenshin, you can be hyped for more content coming to you soon.
Cheers to that.
Our Kitsu user of the week that we want to recommend. Who do we want to shout out this week, guys, that we think deserves some love?
We got so many.
It's the first episode. Everyone deserves
so many.
That is true. Everybody does deserve love, but we want to shout out one particular user for being somebody who really makes the community a more enjoyable place. Okay, let's see. If I'm gonna rack my brain, I am going to go. You know, why not? They're not here today, but they are a nice user and they're very lovely, and they didn't make the podcast. Go say hello to Lady Lucy. They're a part of this podcast.
Yes, go say hi.
She's a very lovely person. She's a little shy, so she might not answer you back right away. But if you get to know her, it's a real sweetheart and somebody worth knowing.
Exactly. See, you picked a perfect person. I didn't want to name drop anyone because I wasn't prepared.
I meant to actually pick somebody before the podcast, but I forgot to. And the Kitsu group is the last thing we want to recommend. The best group to recommend for our very first podcast is the Kitsu group. It has over 90,000 users, so if you're somehow not a part of it right now as an active user, go join it. It has the best place to go to find out what updates are happening on the site. The most recent post was actually made a few hours ago by Josh, and he showed a small video clip showing that very soon the simple rating system with smiley faces and frowny faces is coming back in and being close to being implemented. So if you don't want to use numbers and you want to be able to make a emoji face to say how you feel about that show, it's coming soon. Go to the Kitsu group. Spelled just like the site's name is. Should be very easy to find.
There you go.
And the last thing we want to get you guys to do to be involved with us this past week is it was an idea by Dyna, or Dyna here. If you can think of anything, Dyna, that you had thought of beforehand, I'll let you do it. We have a part where we want to have 1 to 2 questions a week. We want to ask you guys, and we want you to tell us wherever we post this and give us your answer. So I'll let you, Dyna. Do you have any questions that you want the people out there to answer?
Oh, actually, I was just wondering if they had any questions.
Well, here we go. Then, see, that's a great one. What questions do you guys have for us? If you have anything that you want us to add to this podcast to discuss, leave it below. Tell us. We really need to know. It'll help us get this more ironed out and fleshed out because, as you can tell, this is our first time doing it as a group in a while. Everybody's rusty.
Exactly. We just winging it.
Yes. Leave us your feedback, criticisms, and whatever ideas you may want. Suggestions. We're all open to it.
Yeah. This is your podcast. We're making it for you guys. So, really,
yeah, we want to make sure it's entertaining to you all, and we don't, it's for you all, for the community. So, it's your input is just as important.
Just don't call anybody names if you can help it. Be respectful, but we will take all criticism as it is and try to be fair with it. Oh, that's right. There were 2 other things that 2 users asked us to do for this podcast. So, Little Pork Chop 69, you wanted a name drop, so here you are at the end of the podcast. If you don't know who he is a off the wall, crazy, hilarious guy. He's no holds bar. He will say anything and everything. So if you want someone to give you a conversation that you're likely to not be able to keep up with but get a good laugh from, he's the man. And Nuvo was he promised a friend that he would sing him happy birthday.
Oh yeah. Okay. I forgot all about this. I'm glad you mentioned it because I would have felt so bad if we would have ended this without me doing it. So, Capo, you wanted me to sing happy birthday to you. I don't have a good voice, but I promise. So, I'm going to sing it, in all my embarrassment.
What do you think, Dyna? Should we join him in, or do we want him to do this as a lone ranger?
Burn it.
I think he should take the louder ones, and maybe you and I could just kind of add a little bit of flair.
Sounds perfect. I
if
love
needed.
it.
Alright, don't cringe too hard, Kitsu
Oh my
audience. We
God.
apologize ahead of time.
I can't believe we. I'm about to do that. Alright, so.
Alright, I'll start you off, Nuvo. I'll do a countdown.
Okay.
Ready?
Alright.
Alright, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Capo. Happy birthday, Capo. Happy birthday, dear Capo. Happy birthday to you. Love you,
Happy
dude.
birthday,
Happy
Capo.
birthday, Capo.
How old did he turn? Do you know, Nubo? 47?
I believe, was it 26?
26.
27?
Man getting old, growing whites. But yeah, happy birthday to you, Capo. If anybody else has a birthday in the upcoming, between the next time when we post this, please tell us, and we'll make sure to sing it to you. If Nuvo is too shy, I will sing it every single time. I have no problems doing so.
Alright, sounds good. And we will leave all shoutouts in the description. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll also try
Make
to
sure you
leave
guys
links
use
to
people.
anything we mentioned, like the Death Note trailer and the trailer to the Ghost in the Shell thing that he mentioned. This will be on posted on several places, such as SoundCloud, YouTube. Is there any other places we're planning on posting this?
Let's see how this goes, and if it gets to that point,
Okay.
iTunes is also
There
an
you go.
option.
So I think that's everything.
The two-man show turned into a good three amigos.
Exactly.
Woohoo!
Shit.
We'll remember that for future Dyna, that you don't get on until 7:30 normally, unless
least,
we
yes,
tell you
I
beforehand. Then
apologize.
you're just gonna have to get your little butt here. No, but okay, we'll try to schedule around that for next time.
Sounds good. Alright, so, from all of us here on the Kitsu Podcast, so,
I
I
am
am Dyna.
Doaks.
Nuvo no guy here.
Alongside of our absent podcast member, Lady Lucy. We thank you all so much for listening, and we hope to hear any feedback from you. And yeah, we will catch you all next time. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Love you guys.